Can I ask a stupid question? You know how we have this Caduceus reactor thing? You know how it heals more? Is that as a result of the upgrade, or just as a, like, I do this now?
I do
There's
this.
a passive.
That's the training of like Marines with like stim pack. They're just like, I do this now.
So hey guys, this is us from BaseTradeTV. We're just discussing the latest patch notes for Heart of the Swarm, and giving our thoughts on them. This is kind of something we do anyways. We figured we'd just film it this time, because why the hell not? So I am Rifkin, Rif King. You guys may know me. We'll go around and introduce ourselves. So Zeph?
Yeah, I'm Zeph. I think that does it. Yes. Chansley.
Actually, like, I don't even know the order because Zeph is literally in the center of my screen right now.
Okay,
so.
Baldy.
Different ones.
That's fine. I'll
it's
Baldy.
random.
Alright, well I'm Baldy. I'm from Australia, and yeah. I think you just introduced us by saying our names, so this is a very.
Okay, I'll just say the names. You guys say hi. There we go. We've worked out formatting. Okay, Tony, say hello.
Hi guys.
Penguin, I guess, can't really
My
talk.
name rhymes
So
with
you
pony, and I have a pony beside me. Get it?
Penguin, are you gonna be talking through notes like Wile E. Coyote for this? Is that like the actual plan?
You needed a big Acme marker.
He says hi, I'm
What?
Penguin.
What envelope's that for?
Okay, and well, you guys saw Penguin, there's notes. And lastly, we have Panda in the far little corner down there. Panda, say hello.
Hello.
Alright, so let's go ahead and start talking
Yeah,
about some of
Panda.
these silly patch notes. So Heart of the Swarm, constantly ever-changing, we all know that, blah, 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 blah. First one I have highlighted here for everyone who's watching is the medevac change for the Caduceus reactor now requires an upgrade from the fusion core before research begins. I just...
All right,
Someone else
Blizzard.
want to take it away?
Blizzard. There's a reason because the people don't make fusion cores. It's because battle cruisers fucking suck. You make an upgrade that doesn't fucking suck, and say get fusion core.
Yeah,
it's like literally it's the only tier 3 unit that Terran has, and you're requiring a tier 1.5 unit. Like, what the fuck?
Well, not only that, but like think about the extra gas investment like involved with creating that. Like if they're trying to encourage that you
People
make
don't
battle
even make
cruisers.
it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like it just
You
doesn't
watch
make
pro
sense.
games? Like after the Caduceus reactor patch, you watch people's streams, Terran streams, even professional play like Total Biscuit and stuff, that free for all and like the pro like whatever the fuck that was. Nobody fucking makes it. They make it in the late game anyway. So making it require a fusion core. I mean, I was
Why not
I was
just
scrolling
up the
on Ladder
cost?
today, and I was. It's just I don't know. I was going like 7-minute Caduceus reactor with reactor marine, just because it was fun, and then I would just do like speed boost drops, and this is gonna fuck me, man.
Well, I mean, like I can
I had
understand
fun for 2 hours, and now you just fuck me.
if they're trying to nerf it because they felt they made the healing too strong. I get that, but why not just make it cost more? Why put it on the fusion core?
I want
It's
you
the
to
dumbest
understand
thing
something.
ever.
I want you to understand
like-
something. Blizzard, if Blizzard ever fucks something up,
Real talk, real talk.
then they never admit that they fucked something up. Never. Queen range, overpowered. You know what? We're gonna nerf the infestor.
This Penguin, is he raising his
It's
hand to
just completely
talk?
sideways.
Okay, I think Penguin.
Yeah,
You're gonna
It's gonna be like a
whisper into the
mouse.
mic. Alright, guys.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so
Holy shit.
so fuck you, and no, I think that I like that they're trying to nerf the Caduceus reactor. I think like what they should do is probably require an armory instead of a fusion core, but they should also just nerf the actual upgrade because the actual upgrade is just fucking ridiculous.
well-
15 health per second and only three health per energy. That's ridiculous.
what, you don't like dealing with like random invincible units?
Seems fair.
Like,
Because of
fair.
the medevac and the Widowmine, I don't play HOTS right now. Those are the reasons I don't play HOTS right now.
Oh,
too-
by the way, Mutavac in 2v2s is insanely overpowered and awesome.
Oh no.
They're innate regen
No,
plus
they're
medevac.
They already
Ultravac,
are
man.
Medivacs with their one
Muted.
region now.
Almost as retarded as
Ultravac.
Oracles. Almost.
I feel the need to explain real quick for anyone who's a little confused as to why Penguin's so quiet and hush hush. It's like, I believe 1 or 2 a.m. over in Switzerland right now, so he lives in a gaming house and can't really yell or wake up his teammates, so that's to explain the whispering. But okay, let's move on to the next one. Scrolling down here. Oops. All right, Widowmine change, Sentinel missiles. I don't feel this one's that It's kind of a big deal, but it's
Seems
not a big
fair.
deal. This is more of a fair one. But to read this out real quick, Widow Mines, the Sentinel missile. Now the primary target damage has been reduced from 160 to 125. In my opinion, the biggest thing about this is it no longer one-shots all units. There was like I think 4 units in the game that a Widow Mine would not one-shot before, ignoring the splash damage around it. So now you can
Pretty
use.
much.
I think actually no, you can't use. Yeah, you can use Stalkers, I believe now, to actually bait the hit from that, can't you? They've got what 80/80.
Yeah.
So I mean
Doesn't
that's
one-shot
80, yeah.
Banshees either. It's gonna
Yeah.
be huge.
But see,
Like,
that's
Banshees
the
are actually
catch.
somewhat viable now.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it would stop medevac drops. It would stop Banshee harass. Like, if you just had that one in your middle line, whether you used it offensively or abused it or not, it shut down the sort of worker harass. Nothing could come your way. Oracle? No, one shot, no problem. Get out of my base. But this could change it so that now it's not quite so easy mode for Terrans to defend harass. But I mean, it's
Yeah, that's fair.
out of all of these changes we're about to go through, I kind of think it's the fairest of all of them.
It's the only one I like
Yeah.
completely agree with.
I'm
Oh,
just waiting for it to not hit air.
it's the second one that I completely agree with.
I'm waiting for them to bring the Warhound back in the game and just arm it with Widow Mines. Just burrow into the arm and start shooting it
Warhound
off.
is going to
Die.
die. People.
God.
It's literally going to be the Vulture from SE1, and they won't even bother changing it. They're not going to nerf it at all. They're just going to bring it in with passive Widow Mines.
No
They
problem.
won't even
Penguin-
cost any supply anymore either.
Seems
Just
good.
to screw with us, they'll change the voice because that
Yeah.
was a sick thing about StarCraft 1 Vulture.
They'll just let Terran have fun for 1 week and then nerf it again.
Yeah.
Alright,
And then
Penguin's
increase infested.
There, guys. Penguin's got his hand
Yeah,
up.
buff
Okay,
again.
Monsters again. Zerg clearly need buffs.
hang on. Let's give Penguin a chance here since he can't really demand the floor. Go on, sir.
Sit down, Penguin.
You have the talking stick.
You have the conch.
So I think they accidentally made a typo here because obviously what they meant to do was just add a 0 to the amount of damage that Widow Mines do and make it 1600 because Widow Mines were only put into the game to make Terran unbeatable.
Oh man, unless you
No,
can't tell, it's pretty
on a
much
serious
like
note, on a serious note, it's a step in the right direction, but Widow Mines are still too powerful. They need to. I mean, I think they should nerf the splash damage by 5 or something, so it doesn't one-shot workers with splash damage. I also feel like it's just too all-around good right now, and I think the burrowing clause was a stupid upgrade to have because to have them positional is fine. Like to have them be utilized positionally, like 3-second burrow time is good, but to change it to a 1-second burrow time, that's like you can actually just run them under the opponent's army and just burrow them and win. It's like because basically the way Zerg versus Terran works right now is that the Zerg needs to go Hydralisks or he won't do enough damage to the bio that's being healed by the medevacs with Caduceus Reactor. But if you're going Hydralisks and the guy just like runs a bunch of fucking Widow Mines forward while you're trying to chase after bio and burrows it out of the Hydralisks, it 2-shots the Hydralisks with splash damage.
yeah, it can be a bit silly, but again, like you said, I kind of agree. Oh, Baldy's got a puppy. That's adorable.
I want a new puppy.
What?
Aww.
So random.
Oh, I want to touch it.
The new heart of the swarm change.
Don't let
Next
dingoes
balance
eat it, bro.
change.
Guy or
Keep
girl?
away from dingoes.
Guy or girl,
Guy.
Baldy? Oh.
Totally gay.
Oh, it looks exactly like my
Totally
puppy
gay.
when she was puppy.
Totally
That's
gay.
awesome.
Oh.
All right.
Anyway, sorry.
Well, with Baldy's puppy, let's make the transition to the next change, guys. It's going to be the Stalker change for Blink. So,
Okay,
I'll let you take this one, Panda.
this is just completely and utterly necessary because the Blink Mothership core all-in combined with the retarded as fuck map pool is literally one of the most broken things in the game right now. There is no feasible way to stop this without one basing.
I know, it feels like a lot
unless
of these
your opponent
maps...
miscontrols, you lose.
Well,
That's it.
It feels like a lot of the new maps
I
are
was
kind of
terrible when
like...
misread it. I thought they were reducing the blink research time. I was like, what?
No, they're increasing it, which is good, because even
No,
Chrono...
it's the same as Stim Pack. Same as Stim Pack.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the
Without
thing is, though,
Chrono.
like, you take
I
a
like
look
that
at
change, too.
every single new Heart of the Swarm map, and, like, they're all kind of Antigua
They're
Shipyard.
as fuck.
Yeah, they're huge openings, bases. It just encourages blink play.
Backwards.
What does that say? Yes?
Say.
It's backwards. Yeah, it says Zay, because it's backwards on camera.
Bad
Penguin.
English.
But no, yeah, I
Fuck,
agree.
It's normal on my camera. I wrote it backwards so that it wouldn't be normal, or so that it wouldn't be backwards. The fuck?
Camera gets flipped.
Yeah, you're
Not on
overthinking
my
this.
screen.
I know, but it's on our screen.
On my screen, it looked normal. The
Oh.
fuck?
God.
I should say, by the way, because
so many face palms.
I mean, like, my biggest feeling about this is like what Panda said. The actual blink itself, I don't really care so much for, but it's the fact that the mothership core, that recall is insane. Because guess what? Blink up, you don't even have to wait on the cooldown to blink down or get out safely or do whatever you want. You just actually recall all your units, and it's like, no big problem.
I actually just learned what NBD meant the other day.
No big deal.
Really?
Yeah.
I only learned what TIL means the other day. Today I learned.
Welcome to the internet, Panda.
What does that mean?
TIL is today I learned.
Oh.
Really?
So we're all
That's
welcoming
necessary?
from the internet.
Why is there an abbreviation for that?
When
the
do
fuck?
you
That's,
use that
that's
enough
the
to
dumbest
abbreviate?
initialization.
It's dumb, but you know it's all
One of the
over
dumbest
Reddit.
ones.
It's all over Reddit. So that's why I'd never
Fuck
seen it
Reddit.
before.
That's why it's dumb. It's like
Yeah.
once
Yeah,
in a fucking
Reddit, you hear
nine
us? Fuck you.
Wow.
But
We'll
okay,
lose all our viewers.
so yeah, what I feel is the
gag.
biggest
I'm not saying
change.
Reddit's dumb. I'm saying a lot of the Reddit shit is dumb. Difference.
All right, hang on. Let's talk about what is probably the biggest one at the end of this patch notes list here. I don't know if it'll fit the screen region. I may have to change it a little
Here
bit.
we go.
All right, Penguin. Look at Penguin right now. For those who don't know, by the way, this is pretty much an all Terran broadcast with Penguin being Zerg. Actually, no, Zeph's Zerg too. I forgot she's new, but
Yeah.
Penguin is the very prominent, very proud Zerg player. So you see his laughter, his maniacal. But okay, let's read this out. So the Infestor change.
Can I start this one?
If you read it out first, yes.
No, you read it, because you can read it dramatically and loud. I have to be quiet.
Okay, so the Infestor change, guys, they've been tweaking fungal growth a lot. It's been getting a lot of kind of balance changes. The most recent one turned it into like a projectile and limited the range a bit. Now we see them kind of taking another direction with this, where the range has been... actually, is this restored or more? I thought they had tweaked
No,
it by one.
More.
It's more.
So this is
More.
It used to be 9
It
range.
was
This is-
originally 9.
So it's more by one,
Yeah.
yeah. So after taking it back, they decided to overcorrect, I guess, and go for +1 range and increase the missile speed. But it is still a projectile, which I think is kind of the important thing. But Penguin, passionate Zerg, take it away.
Okay, so basically, I feel like this is the next. This is like the next in a series of Blizzard continuing their passion of taking something that is clearly overpowered and deciding to buff it. I think this is definitely a staple of Zerg's of Blizzard's balanced team, and I feel like they started this by deciding to give the Widow Mine an upgrade after everybody was complaining about it, and I think this is a good step in the right direction. What they need to do now is they need to actually make Infestors the free unit rather than Infested Terrans. You should actually get a larva when you make one, and they should be available from the spawning pool.
Would that be
back,
balanced?
Also, fungal growth should be lessened to about 10 energy, and the range increased to 15.
Seems good.
Zeph, I'm assuming
so
that nod of
totally
your
fine.
head is just agreement. Like,
All right. No. Basically, my actual opinion on this is that I don't mind the range increase that much if the missile speed stayed the same. But like the missile speed has now been increased to the point where it's like barely even relevant that it's a projectile in the first place. So this is just kind of silly
Yup.
as fuck.
Yeah.
I think too many patch
How-
Zergs were crying that they couldn't like A-move anymore.
I don't think anybody was really crying about the infestor nerf in Heart of the
Actually,
Swarm.
yeah, I
I
think
it was
a lot of people.
justified.
Yeah, well, talking to Penguin, he
Yeah.
was even like, I'm totally fine with it being a projectile. It doesn't change it too dramatically. It just requires a little bit more skill to use, which, quite frankly, I agree with. But
That's the point.
the missile timer on
Basically,
it.
can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
I feel like this would be reasonable, but they shouldn't like the range increase. Like I said before, is reasonable as long as because of the fact that it's a projectile. The projectile speed should not exceed 12, though, in my opinion.
Well, I mean,
Like,
how many?
at the most, because this is like it's barely even a projectile anymore.
What was he say? Was it like Viking missiles and a couple other things are like speed 15? There's like so few things that are speed 15. Oh, I could be misquoting
Vikings
that
aren't-
one. I'm going
Can
off
I
the top of
give
my
a
head.
visual
Here,
example?
Vikings are
Viking
like
missiles
speed
are-
4.
Ready?
Totally
Oh,
not
Vikings.
speed 15.
Right, guys, I'm going to
Oh.
give a visual example of what this means, right? So in the bottom left, or it might be in the bottom right corner, we have our Zerg player. And in the top left-hand corner, we have our Terran player. And we've got, like, if you consider this right here is an Infestor, he just goes like this. And GG.
Did you do the G's backwards, or is that just the camera being flipped?
Yeah, no, I had to. See, that one's the fake one. Anyway, yeah, but that's my point. Like, I think it's a good patch.
It kind of looks like a fart, to be honest, Baldy. Like,
Kind of farts do you have, man? Anyway, that's my thought.
You have
And in
weird
fact,
farts,
that's
Ripples.
totally
I don't want what you eat.
you guys,
I
go
mean,
read a
that's
comic
disgusting.
book. You see what a fart looks like. I'm just saying. Like, pick up a damn
Yeah.
book, guys.
I pick
yeah, I
up
think
real
they can
books.
now
Thank you
fungal
very
from
much.
middle and-
Well, actually, I saw this thing. It was proposed on Reddit. I'm not too sure how long ago, but someone said regardless of whether Fungal's like got crazy missile speed or whatever the range is, what they should do for anyone who's ever played League of Legends, and I know I shouldn't be referencing this when talking about StarCraft, but Ash Folly has got this thing where it's this huge cone, but it only hits all the front units, none of the ones in the back. And if you had Fungal something like that, I think that would be a really cool change to it. Then it wouldn't matter what the missile speed was, whether
That
it
might
was...
be underpowered.
How many units is front units though?
Well, I mean, that would
Because, like,
obviously
say
be
you have
determined
a
by balance.
stack of Marines.
You would
Like-
need to change it for SC2 because
Yeah.
Volley literally only hits the first target. If you have a bunch of Marines, that would be so
Exactly.
underpowered.
Well,
It'd be
that's
like the front line exactly.
But it's just
Yeah.
it's another conceptual change, and I love that people are coming up with these different ideas. I mean, like I don't think I highly doubt Blizzard were the ones who came up with the projectile idea. But Penguin, yeah, what's up, dude?
Okay, so the other thing to remember is like this is I want to like say my reasoning behind the range increase being okay as long as it's a projectile. The fact that like the longer the ranges that it's cast at, the easier it is to dodge because you have a longer time to actually dodge it. So I think that's really important to remember when discussing this.
Yeah.
Because like 10 range, if it's not a projectile, is obviously retarded as fuck. But it's not like it is still a projectile. I feel like if they nerf the projectile speed back down to 10 or 11. That will be okay. I still think it's the wrong direction to go. Buffing Fungal is not the right direction.
One
Well,
thing
I'm
I
hoping
wanna-
they nerf Fungal next patch when they realize they've made a big mistake.
Well, let's think about like Fungal's
So,
really good against.
The big problem now is that like they're not going to notice that Fungal made a big mistake because Terran just doesn't lose with Widow Mines and Metamax.
Oh, this guy. But no, like
I
let's
have a
talk
theory,
about
though,
Terran.
guys,
Okay, take it away.
about Fungal. It's the new bunker when it comes to patches.
It gets an upgrade where
It's
It
not
needs
a
to be
patch
like 8 more patches
if,
for it to
if
be the
it
bunker.
hasn't been tweaked. Yeah, it's got to get tweaked for 8 more patches, and it's the new bunker.
You can load infested
While
Terrans
you're-
into the fungal projectile and have the projectile explode with a bunch of infested
No,
Terrans.
it's not a Blizzard balance patch if there's no fungal tweak.
No,
It's like the
you-
bunker tweaks.
Yeah, you actually cast the fungal and then you can salvage it on the way.
For what energy? Like,
Yeah.
For all its energy.
One thing I wanted to add, I was talking with Maynard, which is a guy from SEA, which Jeff would know, and it was in regards to, I don't know who was talking to, one of the Blizzard guys, but how they're going like over the top with some patches and some kind of like, for example, with Infestors, because they're trying to see the boundaries. For example, with Infestors, it took like a year and a half for people to realize how good they were and to use them, so they're trying to nut out like and try and over exaggerate some patches and go, okay, well, how far can we take an ability or a unit until it's just ridiculous, so that they don't have to wait like a year and a half into HOTS and people are like, oh, wait a minute, this
Right,
unit's
but-
pretty good. So, but I'm not that I'm saying that I just
With-
necessarily agree with it, but that might be a reason for such excessive.
with that same logic, though, Baldy, consider the Warhound. I mean, that was rather than tweaked or
Let's remove
fixed,
the Warhound
just straight up removed.
after
Yeah.
one patch.
So we remove the Infestors, sick.
Okay, yeah, actually, I'm
Dude,
fine with
that
that.
was
I think we're all fine with that. Everyone in agreement.
Yeah, because
just-
and all like Blizzard's like, damn it, these guys said yes.
Well, I mean, like,
But, yeah.
I haven't said anything about this yet. First of all, I want to just give a little bit of a entertaining thought as to Blizzard's logic here. I'm looking at the map preferences for Ladder for some strange reason. Antigua Shipyard. The description for Antigua Shipyard. Taking the correct second expansion, so your third base, right, is the main difference on this map. Choose between the safer high ground normal expansion or the more dangerous, more rewarding high yield expansion. Who in the fuck
what tournament
Who-
map
who
even
in the
has
fuck?
gold minerals anymore?
takes the gold as a third base? Who in the fuck?
Zergs.
Terrans take it as a
actually,
main base.
No,
Against
no,
Protoss?
Leenox took it.
No, they
took it
take
as
their
his
natural
second
with the gold in
base.
CVP
That was
sometimes.
his natural. Yeah.
You're doing
And that's
some
why they had
league
to
now.
remove gold from Antigua Shipyard, because
Yeah.
Leenox would auto win against Protoss at MLG with it.
He's
So,
just the
that-
scout comes and sees a hatchery at the goal and just GG taps out.
No, but every time
It's
he
like,
did
"Ah,
that
damn it,
build
you
on
got it."
Antigua, he just win.
Yeah, and then that brings
Protoss
us
always
into
picked it against him.
this patch change, and this is something that Blizzard doesn't quite seem to understand, among others. So Blizzard, whenever a unit is not being used, or whenever a unit it doesn't even need to not be used, it could be any unit in the game. All right, there are two main tech paths that the Zergs go to now, in pretty much all of the matchups. They either go for mutas, or they go for infestors. Now, after the infestor nerf, they decided to buff mutaplay. They wanted to incorporate and encourage this from use of professional gamers. So they gave mutas insane regeneration rate, and They're like, okay, there we go. We're at a balance point now, right? Infestor's been nerfed a little bit, mutas have been buffed. Let this take a while and see where it works. No, we're not going to change the muter. All right, this patch, we're not going to change the muter. But now, we're going to buff the living fuck out of fungal growth, so people use infestors again instead. We're not going to see mutas after this patch. Like, this is going to be the patch of the infestor in a game where you already have a new third tech path that people want, that Blizzard actually wants you to use, which is the Swarm Host. So now there are three completely viable tech paths, and then you have this atrocious infestor change that it's actually not even going to be considered as a missile speed anymore. It's just going to be this. It's not a projectile. It's just an instant cast, and now it has one more range. Who the fuck would ever have a problem with this?
Well, not to mention,
Wait,
Blizzard
next patch, they're gonna buff Swarm Host, calling it right now.
well, forget
And
Swarm
not
Host for a
nerf
sec.
infestors
Can we
or
discuss
beetles.
how?
And they're not going to change any of the other changes.
Can we
They're just
discuss
gonna
how
buff
this
Swarm
really
Hosts.
kind of kills the effect of the Viper's blinding cloud too? I mean, like, why would you need to worry about putting that down and engaging these units in melee combat if you're outranging them with the fungals? Stay the hell back and just let all the fungals do the work.
Because it
I mean,
nerfs siege tank range because they have 13 range.
it's the only unit that this doesn't outrange. The fuck, Blizzard?
yeah, pretty
All they
much.
have to do is like replace it with like the kill siege tank button, and then Zerg's balanced.
Yeah.
Oh, and the best thing about the missile speed, like,
Wait,
it
we
being a
need to have
projectile-
spawn broodling. Spawn broodling from StarCraft 1. Just put that on the Vipers. That's it.
Turns
Nailed
out
it.
Tempest is the only unit that can kill infested.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's not even with the lag. There's such bad innate lag on the Heart of the Swarm servers. Right now, you don't even register the fact that it's a projectile. It just
Really?
appears instant because you literally can't micro out of it. And now they're giving it more range than it used to.
Range 10 fungals seems good.
Oh, it'd be interesting either way to see how it goes. But yeah,
It's going to be laughable. It's going to be laughably imbalanced.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the biggest thing
my
for me
big
is the fact that shut up.
no, it's fine.
This is so polite. Sorry, just shut up. Shut up.
Biggest thing for me is the fact that they had this range for so long at 9, and then they dropped it to 8, and then they're like, not only we talked about it earlier, but that's like I just can't get over that. The fact that it went from 9 down to 8, and they're like, wait a minute, let's go to 10.
Yeah. I feel like they're just rolling dice, and whatever number comes up, that's what the new range will be.
Anyway, Penguin, as you were saying.
I think the big thing that the thing I agree most with that Panda just said is the point about the projectile speed. Because 15 speed is actually just pretty much an instant cast, and I think that's a good point that I didn't actually remember earlier.
It's so retarded. There's no
that's the one
logic.
thing that I did. That's the one thing that I mean I didn't take into account the lag on the servers as well. That's a good point, but I think the like range 9 even with a slower projectile would be fine. Just a quick response to Raymond Fish in the chat. This isn't really Zerg hate. This is just infestors were nerfed like a week ago, and then they decided to buff them to more than what they were before, like a week later, which doesn't seem to make much sense because there really wasn't any time for people to test the old infestor because nobody was really using it.
Yeah, Penguin and Zeph are both very, very Zerg favored guys. So, I mean, if you hear Penguin discussing something about it being a little unfair, you know it's coming from someone with a bit of perspective, not just, oh my god, OP, hate it, patch Zerg, patch Terran this, blah, blah, blah.
And I want to point out two like definite lacks of things that are on these patch notes: the Viper and the Oracle. The Oracle is imbalanced
Oh my
to
god.
the point where casters call it imbalanced.
Like,
in the final event of a prestigious tournament, and yet there's no change.
I think it's like, okay, Oracles destroy your mineral line, there's no question about it. What do? You put up 3 or 4 missile turrets. Big deal. You still lose all of your STVs before the turrets can kill off 3 Oracles. Like, you can't do that with
I had
Hellions.
4 Thors. I had this will illustrate this. I had 4 Thors, right? These Thors had 1/1.
Here we go.
6 Oracles moved into my base and killed 4 Thors in 3 seconds.
What?
What?
3 seconons. I can't
It's
get
yeah, their damage
SCVs
is insane.
from my natural mineral line over to these Thors before they die. All four of them. What the fuck, Blizzard?
You guys have to understand, because I think
The
Blizzard's
thing to
logic.
remember about that as well is that the thing to remember about that as well is that Oracle attack is not affected by upgrades, so that's actually an upgrade advantage going to the Thors as well. So that's even more ridiculous.
Well, not only
this
that,
is
but
something
it's
that I wanted to talk about regarding the Winnow Mine actually that was completely neglected. Widow mines are overpowered as fuck in the early game, and they fucking suck in the late game. Aside from some completely abusive,
Cheese.
like engagements and huge battles where you literally can't micro out of it and you can't see the widow mines underneath. That needs to be changed. They need to be more visible. That's something. But widow mines don't get an attack damage buff from the vehicle weapons upgrades. I think that they should reduce the damage even more than 125 and then supply that as an add-on on the armory. Like to actually buff them in the late game, because mech versus Protoss is a fucking joke right now. It actually sucks more in Heart of the Swarm than it does in Wings of Liberty. And that's fucking saying something, because mech in Wings of Liberty is literally shit.
Yeah, it's
like not viable. And
Boom, sit down.
No, Panda's got a great point though. I mean, because I think even who's it? Frodan recently commented to say there needs to be a new mech unit because it's just you can't do it. And that was the whole point of the Warhound, and then they got rid of it.
Warhound.
Yeah, exactly.
It got removed in 1 week.
I don't
Where's
know.
that, Blizzard? Instead, you're buffing the fuck out of fungal growth.
I do want to comment for
They said they
anyone
would
who
rework it, too.
anyone who remembers when the patch they took the Warhound out was also the same patch where they adjusted how the Immortals would react to the Warhounds. So like I sat there thinking like, yeah, they'll definitely bring this back in, and then like 3 days later, Blue Post, no, the Warhound will not be coming back. Period.
No, yeah.
Blizzard,
It's
come
like
on.
Metropolis, guys. They said that they would add Metropolis back into the pool. You remember that? The next season? No.
Yeah.
No. It's almost a year later now.
You know, it's I don't know, but you know what, guys? I think
Name changes? Guys, paid name changes are coming. They're coming.
Yeah, they're coming in
Soon.
the
New Year of
aesthetics.
2011. Remember?
Like it's just like patch note, and then there's like Blizz hate.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like
Yeah.
this went from being about discussing their patch notes to be like, come on, Blizzard.
Patch note discussion, aka what the fuck, Blizzard.
Dude,
I
I
think
can't.
the-
I don't
like-
know a team liquid
I'm
thread
getting angry. I
that
need to
has
feel better.
response to this many
There we go.
pages. See, where is the post? Blizzard balance update. It's already at 26 pages, and it was put up like
My dog's better than your pony. Just saying.
No.
2 years ago, 2 hours ago. Disgusting.
Mine will bite
You're
that's
so
head
wrong.
off. What you gonna do about it?
I want to say, by the way,
the
because
pup.
like I kind of feel like we're coming to an end here after Panda's point. I think we should finish the show by each striking like a random pose at the same time. Then I could cut that up
Okay.
and use that as the intro for the show.
Oh my gosh.
Collective
Okay.
face palms, just as
Like,
good.
would we do like Ginyu Force type poses?
Yeah, it'll be like one of those things where I'll be like,
Oh
okay,
my
guys, on
God.
3, and I'll be the only
Yeah,
one going like
it'd be
this.
like the Ginyu
Fuck, I'm gonna
Force.
watch Dragon Ball Z now.
We all gotta find out where we are
Yes.
on the camera and just point to Rifkin and just do a big FU to him.
So BM, Baldy. Australia, so BM.
Like
I have
this.
an idea.
Oh,
I have
then
the
it
best
looks like
idea.
I'm giving
I have the
him fingers
best idea.
Fs.
I have
I'm
the
not
best
gonna do
idea.
that.
Alright, Penguin, what's
I
your
have the
best
Oh,
idea?
no, that's true. Alright, so
Australia is upside down.
Rifkin should move himself to the middle of the top so that we can all flip off Rifkin in unison.
Yes.
Yes,
No, this isn't like
let's do
the
it.
Brady Bunch intro where we're like looking around. It's just like,
Can we do that?
just like random fingers to like everybody.
That would be awesome, actually. Who would be Alice?
I can't
Alice
say I
is
know
such a
the
boss.
characters.
Honestly, I'd nominate Baldy. No disrespect to Baldy, because Alice is an awesome character.
What does Alice do? I
Best
don't know.
character. Best
Baldy.
character AU.
I remember the intro. I don't remember the characters. Just a representation of how I don't care about it.
Alice is the maid.
Well, guys, that's our discussion for this week. I don't know if this will become a thing or not. We'll see if this gets any good feedback or not. Hope you enjoyed our opinions on it as casters, some of us as
Before,
players as
Zerg
well.
hate comment.
Yes,
on
arcade all day,
YouTube.
or day.
Look, guys, you got to look at the big picture here. Now you can't fake Banshee Cloak by having Caduceus Reactor being researched.
Damn it!
It's a
Darn
huge
it.
Terran nerf.
Those mind
It's a
games.
nerf to mind games.